Hey guys, Ellie here. So today I'm going to show you that you can add the gradient option in your sections. Now we did not do this in every section just because it just gets a bit too bloated. So I am showing you how you can easily do it in 3 steps. Now if you are not familiar with going inside the code because it is sensitive area, you can just always contact us. But in this quick tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can do it yourself in the code. Again, there's 3 simple steps, and if you follow along, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be a developer yourself. So what it looks like is you can change out the gradient right here, left or right, or other directions as well. So I'll show you that in the settings, and also just the colors itself. So right over here, you're gonna go in and go into your edit code. If you are in the theme editor, you just go to edit code. If you're outside of the theme editor, you're just gonna go in the 3 dots here and edit code. It's going to be both leading to the same place, just different ways to get there. All right, so we have it in the animated stories. Now we're gonna go in and put it in a different section here. So let's say, for example, we want to put it in the feature product section. So what that looks like is down here, when we have feature products listed, we're gonna have an option for a gradient background. Now right now you do have the option for a gradient background, but what we're going to do is, if you want to, we're going to change that gradient background and call it for an actual gradient background as opposed to the primary gradient background or whatever colors you set. So going into here, it's going to be basically the same thing, but instead sometimes you'll notice that there are no settings, and sometimes you'll see that there are settings here. So what you want to do in this case scenario is you're going to go in and add this code. I'm going to go and apply this for you guys too, or put it as an RTF file for you guys. So we're going to go and make sure that it is before the curly brackets, so we have that as well. And then the other part we're going to go in and add is right down here. Most of the time, wherever you see PT, BP, MT, or MB, this is padding top, padding bottom, margin top, margin bottom. So what we're going to do is, you see where when you click on here, you see the section here, and you see the closing section. What we're just going to do is remove this here, and we're going to go in and paste that in. So now we still have the ending closing tag here from here and here in this section. That's the second step. Now the last step we want to do is create the settings for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go at the very bottom. Most of them are going to have this already, this gradient color option here, and some of them don't. So if you don't see it, we can just put it and nest it right underneath the background color right here, and it's always going to be after the comma. So we're going to paste it, and there we go. And we're just going to go and click save. Now what we want to do is go into the customizer itself. We're going to go into the customizer, make sure that Shopify updates. And so what we really want to do is kind of get this nice option with this gradient here. So we're going to go into the feature products, and let's just go in and add so we have something to display here. Again, this is on my demo, so it's just a demo. All right, so we're going to the feature products. We created it as a section and not as a block, so that means it's going to change globally that section itself. So right over here, we have body, we have white, we have light option. Notice how it changed. Now if we do want to apply the gradient, we're just going to toggle this on, and now it applied, and it does look really, really nice, and it looks really seamless with the previous section at the top and at the bottom as well. So we have that. We can also change out the colors, so we can do a nice gray scale, whatever it may be. But let's actually go back so we can kind of see the difference of it. And in addition to that, we have the gradient start, we have the gradient, and we also have the direction. So if it's going right now to right, let's see what it looks like to left. So it looks like so. You see the difference? It kind of flip-flopped, and then top is there, and bottom is the reverse of the bottom. So it kind of looks really nice. But what I would do is, if you're keeping the same previously with the gradient style, you want to keep that so it flows really nicely. And it gives a nice added touch to your background colors if you want to enhance and promote that certain section and really make sure that that section stands out. You may do so. Now, one thing I am going to say is you want to use this very carefully. Gradients, when used right, can be really well, but at the same time, this isn't like 1970s, 1980s, where you want gradients everywhere, everywhere on the website, unless it is that very vibrant style, bold vibe that you're going for. Now I'm gonna go and click save. Now I'm gonna do one more section just so you can kind of see what that looks like. We're gonna go into like this section, for example, the cards with image. And so we're going to go down to C. I forgot my alphabet right now. A, B, C, D. So cards with image right here. And you'll notice that there is a different kind of structure in this one, but it's gonna be the same logic applied. So you don't wanna remove this. You wanna keep everything here, but the difference from this section and the previous section was this only had this part of it, the margin and the spacing. Right over here for the cards, it has all these other ones. So what we're gonna wanna do is we're going to go and replace just this section here. We wanna keep everything else. So in this case scenario, we're just going to highlight this part and we're gonna paste that color, or paste that option in. In addition to that, we still do need to add that option down here after the padding and margin. So remember, we're going to delete this closing tag, and we're going to go and press enter, and then we're going to finish it off with this other new closing tag here. We're going to save this. And then the last tidbit that we need to do is, now that most of the time there is going to be already this BG gradient option here. So what we're just going to do is, you can't have two IDs at the same time. So we're just going to go and replace this one, hover over it, and when I paste this in, it's just going to replace the whole string here. So you'll see that BG gradient is now a checkbox, and it was a checkbox, but we can't have two IDs. So if I paste that all in, we're gonna save it. It's already saying that the ID is already taken, so we can't do that. So we're just gonna go and replace that, and we also want to make sure that it's nice and formatted. So now asset saved. Now I'm going to go back into my customizer. That's one thing about Shopify, is a lot of back and forth, and it really does help if you have a dual screen working with you. So we did this for the cards with image. We're just going to go and scroll down and notice that it is inheriting the light because we're calling for the light. And because the toggle is off, it's going to inherit whatever color we really decide. So the background color is primary because I set that in the theme settings, colors, and primary. However, because I want a cool, 80s touch with it, we're gonna go to the cards with image and we're gonna toggle on the gradient, and it should work, and it does, which is amazing. So again, you can just literally do any kind of color you want with this. I like that. I love teal. So that looks really cool. And just play around with it. Also play around with the different directions as well. And I think that with using it right, I think it could really promote and highlight certain areas for on your store. But again, use it very carefully, and it's really just those 3 simple steps. And if you follow that same logic every time, then you should have no problem. Thank you.